All right, we have a 6" by 9" piece of watercolor paper. This is by Bee paper, B-E-E paper, and the link will be down below. I have it taped onto a piece of Coroplast, just plastic, cardboard type of stuff, but it's all plastic, so it's not going to warp on me. I have taped this off into quarters with about a 1/4 inch margin, and then this tape is 1/2 inch, so when I cut it in half both ways, I'll have 1/4 inch margins. I'm going to do Christmas balls, and they're going to be really vibrant, so I am going to go ahead and put sort of a cloudy blue on here, and I'm doing all 4 at the same time for the watercolor, and then we'll doodle on each one individually really quick. So the paper is wet, it is taped down, I burnished it really well, so hopefully it doesn't leak underneath. I am going to grab some of this blue. It's a kind of a Prussian blue, and I am going to put this on here, and then I'm going to work it around. Ooh, that makes it more icy and almost more snowflakey like in the background, kind of crystally. So now we've got a kind of crystally background, don't we? I think we're gonna dry it nice and dry. Oh, that looks like crystally snow in the background now. That's cool. Grab something that's circle about the size that we want for our ornaments. So this is just a cardboard tube lid. It comes from my my Eco pens that I like to use to draw with. So I'll probably be drawing with one of those. But first off, I am going to take my pencil and just give myself a loose circle, loose outline. Kind of see that there, can't you? I think this one's going to be off center. Maybe we'll have 2 off center on that one. I'm going to go ahead and put my ink on here. So I am just loosely, not worried about being perfect. Excited to see how this all turns out. Let's just get the little loops on. We've got our little places for the hanger to hang on to. Just like this. We're going to have 4 cards. When we are all done, you're going to have 4 cards, and you didn't even have to work hard to do them. This would be really pretty as a window, wouldn't it? When you take the tape off, the whole thing could be one big card if you wanted to. I'm making 4 cards. Just coloring in just a little bit in that loop underneath, since we're kind of seeing up inside those little loops. And then the little cap right here. This is actually metal. So I am just going to use my pen. I'm not going to be worried about getting color on it though, because it would be reflecting some of the colors. So don't worry about that when we're putting our watercolor on for the baubles. I am going to erase off some of that pencil. Now there's a couple pen lines that just randomly ended up in places. Ooh, I know. Think I'm going to take and make a little circle here. And then put a small circle in the center. And then do lines going into the center. I don't know if the effect is going to be as cool, but I've played with it before. This is kind of like those shiny Brite ornaments that have the little reflector in the middle of it. Old-fashioned. I like the old-fashioned ornaments. Doodling like this makes me so happy. It's so relaxing and reminiscent of, oops, you know, just reminiscent of being a kid and just drawing lines, seeing what they do. See, as you have your lines closer together in the center, they feel darker, and the lines on the outside edge out here, these lines are wider apart, so they feel lighter. That's cool. Try and get those lines all the way out to the edge of your circle. And if it feels like you've spread out your lines too much, or you need a little bit more depth, just go add some more lines. Nothing says that once you've gone past a point, you can't go back. Go back. Fill it in the way it makes you happy. Look at that. All right, so that is one ornament all doodled up. I am going to go and darken in the center, but I'm leaving a little rim of some light. And then the same thing here, I'm going to put just a rim of light around the bottom part. Right, like that. Then I'm going to leave kind of blank. We'll see how it works when we put color on it. I think that this one is just going to end up getting some of those fun stripes. You know, like the pink and purple, giving you a little bit of, leaving a little bit of like the metallic stripe area. We might use a silver pen or a gold pen and put some more highlights and details on. I think this one is just getting stripes. I like those old-fashioned-y type ornaments. And we're going to stay in the blues, purples, pinks, maybe green. But we're not going to put any, well, and if we put yellow, it's going to be going green. So, you know, whatever it takes. I'm going to put another line on. I'm going to do some loose stripes with my colors. There might be a little gouache put on here at some point. That's all I'm going to do for that one. I think, let's see. Ooh, I think that we're going to do some little berries. And maybe the mistletoe type leaf. I like those mistletoe type leaves. They're pretty. They've got kind of a thickness to them. Make this into a little kissing ball. just going to randomly place a few leaves here and there. And then maybe a couple more berries. Now, I know that the berries on mistletoe are actually kind of a greenish white, but we will probably be doing kind of pink for our mistletoe berries. And that's okay, because this is the holidays, and this is a time for fancifulness and freeform, making it look the way you want it to be, giving your holiday the chance to do something that you want. You know, we might not be able to see all the people we want to see or do all the things we want to do, but we can make our Christmas cards and our holiday remembrance cards something that we want. There we go. I think I'm going to say there was a berry over there. And maybe one more right there. See, that's part of doodling. Just make it the way you want it. If you see something and you want it to be a certain way, do it. Look at that. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so now I think... Oh, you know what? I am going to go like this. I'm going to do it. Just because I want to. And I'm going to say... Let's see. Maybe this one is just going to be sort of striped like a target. And it's going to be off center. Just like that. Just have fun, because we're going to give it shape with the color. So you don't have to put shading in on your circles this way. You can just pop in there with all the colors you want. Let's get the paint out. I don't have to do anything. I am going to go ahead and lift off my little pencil lines. I want to go in and just start getting some color. And look at this. I just had this sort of mixed up green color that was sitting here. A little bit of some sepia, so I've got two tones of it. I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, that's a dark one. I'm going to put that dark kind of in the centers. And then I'll take a brighter color. But this is just playing, having fun, and making cards for people. That's the thing that I'm excited about. I'm making cards, and I'm going to be sending them out. These cards are actually all going to be being sent out to my patrons on Patreon. Pretty cool. So patrons are going to be seeing some Christmas cards this year, I think. Probably in one of my giveaways, or maybe something else. I might have something else planned. So look at that. Just pop some color on there. We drew our own coloring sheet. That's all this was. This was a coloring sheet. So I have some white gouache here, and I am going to use that with just a touch of yellow in it. And I think I'm going to take my little brush and take some yellow into that gouache. Look at that. Wipe the water off the ferrule. I'm going to go ahead and use gouache on those berries so that they are that kind of greeny, yellowy, white, kind of waxy looking. So I think I'm actually going to put a little highlight on some of those leaves. just like that. All right. Oh, that's cool. Now, I think I'm going to take a gold pen and I am going to color in that cap. And look, I'm not coloring it in completely. I'm moving over. I'm leaving some little spaces of that light. I want to take some of that dark blue and I am going to go and put just a little bit of this blue around the edge, and then I'm going to wet it down and pull it in. This is an experiment. We're going to try it. We're going to see if that works. All right, I want to pick up just a touch of water and a bit more of that blue. I want to make it darker down here at the bottom. Kind of coming up around the side. See, we're just working it around. A little bit inside there. A little bit of that dark right down inside. Oh, so pretty. I'm just going to let that dry. I will come back and put my highlights on in a minute and move on to this one. It's going to be in the magenta. So we're going to start off with just putting the color right on there. There we go. Because the background of that ball is already blue, it's turning a little on the purple side. Awesome. That is so awesome. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to take my paper towel, paper napkin. We're going to put some dark. We're going to put some blue here because it's reflecting some of that blue. I'm going to put a little bit of that. It's now turning into purple. Here in the center. A little bit there. This is fun. You're going, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to know how everything is going to turn out when you first start. So look at that. I think I'm going to go in and kind of follow along those lines just a little bit, but not exactly. The other thing that's going to pull it all together is when we put those highlights on. So just hang with me, trust me, it's going to work. We've got the yellow. I'm going to come in here, put that yellow on there. You notice we're doing a lot with that blue, but see, when I put that blue and that yellow together, we get gorgeous green. And let it just blend. Let it blur. Oh, I like that. I like just the ball, just like that. I don't think I need to do anything else except take a tiny touch of the magenta and the blue and just give it a little hit up here. Magenta and blue. Because it's bouncing the reflections. go. A little bit of water. Oh, I like that. See how quick that was? We're going to put magenta. And one of the things about these balls, and what I'm going to do is put my stripe in a haphazard way. If you've ever gotten those Christmas balls, after a few years, the lines seem to migrate. They don't always stay nice and crisp. They weren't always painted nice and crisp. I just picked up some of the paint that was sitting on the tape. And some of the paint that's right up here. We can do that. We have the power. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and take just the yellow and add a little bit of that gouache to it. I'll have to rinse my brush out really well now, but add some of that gouache to it. And I'm going to take it and give it a nice crisp line. I'm going to go right across the tape. Look at that. And if it starts to blend a little bit with the color that's there, it's just going to make it go kind of an orange color. Perfectly fine. Nice thing about gouache is that you can take light colors over dark colors. So, and this is also going to give it that kind of velvety feel. That magenta. Make a little bit of a line coming around. It's just going to go right over that. Right over those stripes. I want it to be a little bit darker down here at the bottom. Maybe give it a heavier stripe here now. I can do that. Make changes. Make changes. Let your artistic mind take over. You have an artistic mind. You are artistic. You are creative. You who think you can't do anything. Look at this. These are just circles. Just circles. Nothing hard. Nothing hard. I think we're going to do a purple ball here. So that's going to be blue and magenta. But then, what color do I want my highlight to be? I think I want it to be just the magenta. So I need to get that on here, work it out so it's fairly light. Look at that. We still have some of that texture. We're going to go like that. Now we've got some of the worked way back to the lightest color. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I like that. I like these sort of free-form, let the color just flow. And I think that's all I'm going to do to that one. Maybe I will take just a little bit of water and put it here around the edges and see if it will work in just a little bit more. See what it does. Ooh, isn't that pretty? I am going to actually take a little touch of this sepia and work a little bit of that down here into that center where it's really dark. And then out here on the edges, I'm just going to touch just a little bit and see if we can get that kind of reflection quality going. Ooh, that's working. Without using any metallic or anything like that, we're getting that lovely kind of reflection. Part of that's because we have that blue in the background. That worked really to our favor. I am going to go and put a little bit of that magenta on there. Just, yeah, it looks like I like magenta, doesn't it? I'm kind of just going to do a light wash of color on this one though. I don't want to get it too heavy. Let's get a little bit darker down here, right up around the hanger, and right around the bottom edge. There we go. All right. See? Just play with it. And if you don't know what they look like, go and reference. Find references. Look up Shiny Brite. And you'll find a ton of ornaments. I think I'm going to dry it. All right, we're going to take this gold. And I'm going to make pretty little gold outlines. Oh, that's so glittery. Take it all the way out to the outside edge on both sides. See, it's a way to clean up and end up with something so much better than you were thinking. I think I'm going to put an extra stripe going right down the center of those. There we go. Maybe there's a little tiny bit of that hanger showing there. I think that's cool. I think we're going to put a little bit of gold on the berries. Just like that. I think that's good. Oh, and we could even put a little bit of a broken line of gold going around. Got that gouache reactivated. I'm going to put a brighter spot right there. Look at that. Little tiny bits of color, little tiny bits of that gouache. Doesn't take a lot. I'm going to go and say there's the highlight. Right there. Yep, I'm just painting right over the top, aren't I? That's what you do. And then we've got a little bit of that sparkle of the glass. Go up here. I'm going to put a little bit of the white down here in that glittery, sparkly, reflective section. I'm going to put a little bit of that white by that glitter of that pen. I'm going to make a highlight over here. These are softer. These are not super bright. There you go. Going to highlight. And it seems like it's not the way it's supposed to be, but in your darkest areas is where you want to get some of that highlight. It's just like when you're doing gemstones. Let's just highlight right there. This is what it looks like before we've pulled the tape off. Now, if you happen to have some places where the paint flowed out where you didn't want it, it's okay. You can take some of that white gouache and you can clean it up. And I plan on cleaning it up before I cut my paper apart, just because then I can clean it up on all of them quick and easy. Silly me. All right, we're going to take our brush and some of that plain white gouache that doesn't have any other color in it. And I'm just going to paint it right onto the paper. It might need a couple coats, but once it's all put together, you're really not going to notice it that much. 4 cards all done at one time. I think that's pretty awesome. Go and do this project. Let me know what you think of it. Share with me on Pinterest, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, all the places at Deliberately Creative. I'm going to put up a picture now of all the cards finished. I hope that you like this project, that you want to try it, that you will share with me when you do. And remember, go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. And I want to see you back here again really soon. Bye-bye.